Seniors, I am begging you to stop eating these 5 vegetables that are slowly damaging your heart. Think all vegetables are heart healthy? Think again. These 5 common veggies might be damaging your cardiovascular system. Stay tuned to learn which ones to avoid and what to eat instead. Hidden dangers. We commence this important discussion by acknowledging a truth that often sits uncomfortably alongside conventional dietary wisdom. That even foods widely celebrated for their health benefits can, under specific circumstances, for certain individuals or when consumed in particular ways, present hidden dangers, especially concerning delicate systems like the aging heart. It is a common refrain that one cannot eat too many vegetables, that they are universally benign and invariably beneficial. And while it is undeniable that a diet rich in a diverse array of plant foods is a cornerstone of good health, a more nuanced understanding is required, particularly for seniors whose physiological resilience may be different from that of younger individuals, or for those managing pre-existing health conditions. The heart, that tireless muscle which has faithfully served us for decades, becomes more susceptible to various stressors as we age. Changes in blood pressure regulation, arterial stiffness, shifts in inflammatory responses, and altered nutrient metabolism are all part of the natural aging process. Therefore, what might be inconsequential for a younger, robust constitution could pose a subtle yet cumulative challenge for a senior's cardiovascular system. This is not about creating fear around vegetables, which are indeed foundational to vitality, but about cultivating a deeper discernment, an understanding that context matters profoundly. The dangers we speak of are rarely acute or immediate for most, but rather involve the potential for certain compounds within these vegetables, or the ways they are commonly prepared and consumed in modern diets, to gradually contribute to an internal environment that is less than optimal for heart health. Perhaps they contain substances that, in excess or for sensitive individuals, might interfere with certain medications, influence electrolyte balance, contribute to inflammation if not balanced correctly, or place an unexpected burden on metabolic pathways already under strain. The plea I make today, from a place of deep care, is for seniors to move beyond blanket recommendations and to develop a more refined awareness of how even healthy foods interact with their unique physiology and existing health status. It is about questioning, with gentle curiosity, whether every vegetable, in every form, is always serving their highest cardiovascular good. This exploration is not an indictment of vegetables themselves, but an invitation to a more conscious, personalized approach to nutrition, recognizing that the path to a healthy heart in our later years requires not just enthusiasm for healthy eating, but also profound wisdom and a willingness to look deeper than surface appearances. This informed discernment is key to navigating the complex landscape of nutrition for optimal heart wellness. Nightshade concerns. Let us now turn our attention to a specific family of vegetables that, while popular and consumed worldwide, has been a subject of ongoing discussion regarding its potential impact on inflammation and joint health, and by extension, for some individuals, on aspects that could indirectly relate to cardiovascular wellness, especially in sensitive seniors, the nightshade vegetables. This group includes common staples such as tomatoes, potatoes, specifically white, red, and blue varieties, not sweet potatoes, eggplants, and all varieties of peppers, bell peppers, chili peppers, paprika, cayenne. These vegetables contain naturally occurring compounds called alkaloids, most notably solanine in potatoes and eggplant, tomatine in tomatoes, and capsaicin in peppers. For the vast majority of people, these compounds are consumed in amounts that are perfectly safe and well tolerated, and indeed, nightshades are rich sources of many beneficial nutrients like vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants. However, for a subset of individuals, particularly those with pre-existing inflammatory conditions, autoimmune sensitivities, or a compromised gut lining, which can become more common with age or due to other health issues, these alkaloids can potentially act as irritants or trigger inflammatory responses. Chronic, low-grade inflammation is a well-established driver of atherosclerosis, the hardening and narrowing of arteries, which is the underlying cause of most heart attacks and strokes. Therefore, if nightshade consumption for a sensitive senior is subtly contributing to an increased inflammatory load in their system, this could, over the very long term and in conjunction with other risk factors, be an unhelpful factor for cardiovascular health. It's important to emphasize that this is not a universal problem. Many seniors consume nightshades with no ill effects whatsoever. However, if an individual experiences unexplained joint pain, digestive upset, or other signs of inflammation that seem to be exacerbated by these vegetables, it might be worth a period of mindful elimination and reintroduction under appropriate guidance to assess personal tolerance. Furthermore, the way nightshades are often consumed can also be a concern. For example, potatoes are frequently deep-fried as French fries or potato chips, a preparation method that introduces unhealthy trans fats and acrylamides, both of which are detrimental to heart health, entirely independently of the potato itself. Tomato-based sauces are often very high in added sodium and sugar, which are known cardiovascular risk factors. Even seemingly healthy choices like baked potatoes can become problematic if loaded with excessive amounts of cheese, sour cream, and salty toppings. The plea here is not to banish all nightshades from the senior diet indiscriminately. Rather, it is to encourage awareness. For those who feel well and thrive on these vegetables prepared healthily, e.g. steamed or baked potatoes in moderation, fresh tomatoes, lightly cooked peppers, and eggplant, there is likely no cause for alarm. But for seniors who are actively working to manage inflammation, or who suspect a sensitivity, or if these vegetables are primarily consumed in unhealthy processed forms, then a more cautious and discerning approach is warranted. Listening to one's own body and choosing whole, minimally processed preparations are key to ensuring these vegetables remain allies, not unwitting adversaries, in the quest for a healthy heart. Oxalate overload. We now consider another group of vegetables that, while offering many nutritional benefits, can, for certain seniors, particularly those prone to kidney stones or with specific metabolic sensitivities, present a challenge due to their high content of oxalates, a concern that, through its impact on kidney health and mineral balance, can indirectly have repercussions for cardiovascular wellness. Oxalates are naturally occurring compounds found in many plant foods. When consumed, they can bind with minerals like calcium in the digestive tract. For most people with healthy kidney function and balanced gut flora, dietary oxalates are processed and excreted without issue. However, for individuals who are high absorbers of oxalate, or those who have a predisposition to forming calcium oxalate kidney stones, the most common type, a consistently high intake of high oxalate vegetables can contribute to stone formation. Chronic kidney stones can, over time, impair kidney function, and impaired kidney function is a significant risk factor for cardiovascular disease. The kidneys play a vital role in regulating blood pressure and fluid balance, and when their function declines, the heart is placed under increased strain. Which vegetables fall into this high oxalate category? Spinach is a very well-known example, being exceptionally high in oxalates. Other leafy greens like Swiss chard and beet greens also contain significant amounts. Rhubarb is another notable high oxalate food. Potatoes, especially sweet potatoes, though white potatoes contain them too, beets, nuts like almonds, and beans also contribute to oxalate intake. While these foods are undeniably nutritious, providing fiber, vitamins, and minerals, the plea to seniors is one of careful consideration, especially if they have a personal or family history of kidney stones, or if they have conditions that might increase oxalate absorption, such as inflammatory bowel disease or a history of certain types of bariatric surgery. It's not necessarily about complete avoidance for everyone, but about awareness and moderation, and understanding how these foods interact within the context of their overall diet and health status. Furthermore, Very high oxalate intake can potentially interfere with the absorption of essential minerals like calcium and magnesium if not properly balanced, though this is generally more of a concern with extreme intakes and poor overall dietary patterns. Both calcium and magnesium are crucial for healthy heart rhythm and blood pressure regulation. The preparation method can also influence oxalate levels to some extent. Boiling or steaming high oxalate vegetables and discarding the cooking water can help to reduce their oxalate content. Pairing high oxalate foods with calcium-rich foods in the same meal can also encourage oxalate to bind with calcium in the gut rather than being absorbed and then excreted through the kidneys. The crucial point is that for seniors seeking to protect their heart, maintaining good kidney health is paramount. If their daily diet is excessively high in oxalate-rich vegetables, particularly if they are in a higher risk group for kidney stones, this could inadvertently create a downstream risk for their cardiovascular system. This calls for a balanced approach, ensuring a wide variety of vegetables are consumed, not over-relying on just a few high oxalate types, and being particularly mindful if kidney stone susceptibility is a known issue. It is about harmonizing nutrient intake with individual predispositions to support both kidney and heart vitality. Goitrogenic impact. Our discussion now turns to a category of vegetables known as cruciferous vegetables, a group celebrated for its powerful anti-cancer properties and rich nutrient profile, including broccoli, cauliflower, kale, cabbage, Brussels sprouts, and collard greens. While these are undeniably nutritional powerhouses for most, they also contain compounds called goitrogens, which, in certain specific circumstances, particularly in cases of iodine deficiency and when these vegetables are consumed in very large raw quantities, can potentially interfere with thyroid function. The thyroid gland, located in the neck, produces hormones that regulate metabolism, energy levels, and, importantly, heart rate and function. Hypothyroidism, or an underactive thyroid, can lead to a slowing of the heart rate, elevated cholesterol levels, and an increased risk of atherosclerosis and heart failure. Therefore, any dietary factor that could significantly impair thyroid function, especially in seniors who may already be at higher risk for thyroid issues, warrants careful consideration for its potential indirect impact on cardiovascular health. How do goitrogens work? They can inhibit the thyroid gland's ability to take up iodine, which is essential for the synthesis of thyroid hormones. They can also interfere with the enzyme thyroid peroxidase, which is also crucial for hormone production. It is vitally important to state upfront that for the vast majority of people who have adequate iodine intake and consume these vegetables in normal, cooked amounts, the goitrogenic effect is minimal and often outweighed by their numerous health benefits. Cooking, steaming, boiling, stir-frying significantly reduces the goitrogenic compounds in cruciferous vegetables. However, the plea to seniors, especially those with known thyroid conditions, like Hashimoto's thyroiditis or a history of goiter, or those who are at risk of iodine deficiency, which can still occur even in developed countries, is to be mindful of consuming very large quantities of these vegetables in their raw state. For example, a daily habit of drinking large green smoothies packed with several cups of raw kale or raw broccoli day after day, particularly if iodine intake is marginal, might not be the wisest approach for long-term thyroid health, and thus, indirectly, for heart health. The symptoms of hypothyroidism can be insidious and easily mistaken for general signs of aging in seniors: fatigue, weight gain, cold intolerance, constipation, depression, and cognitive slowing. If thyroid function is compromised due to excessive raw goitrogen intake in the context of low iodine, these symptoms could develop, and the associated cardiovascular risks, like dyslipidemia and bradycardia, could also increase. This is not a call to eliminate these incredibly valuable cruciferous vegetables. They are too important for their fiber, vitamins, minerals, and cancer-protective glucosinolates. Rather, the plea is for moderation with raw consumption, especially in large amounts, and to favor cooked preparations. Ensuring adequate dietary iodine from sources like iodized salt in moderation, seaweed, or seafood if appropriate for their overall dietary plan and health status, also provides a protective buffer. It's about balance and understanding nuance, appreciating the immense benefits of these vegetables, while also being aware of potential interactions that, for a sensitive senior or in specific dietary contexts, could inadvertently create a ripple effect towards thyroid imbalance and consequently impact heart function. This informed approach ensures these powerful vegetables remain steadfast allies. Preparation pitfalls. Perhaps one of the most significant yet often overlooked ways in which seemingly healthy vegetables can inadvertently contribute to heart concerns for seniors lies not in the vegetables themselves, but in the common preparation methods and additions that transform them from nourishing allies into potential saboteurs of cardiovascular wellness. Many vegetables that are inherently low in calories, rich in fiber, and packed with vitamins and minerals can become laden with unhealthy fats, excessive sodium, and refined carbohydrates depending on how they are cooked and what they are served with. This is a critical distinction that I implore seniors to grasp with clarity. Consider the humble potato, a source of potassium and vitamin C. When it is deep fried in unhealthy vegetable oils to make French fries or potato chips, it becomes a vehicle for trans fats or oxidized fats, acrylamides, and excessive sodium, all of which are decidedly detrimental to heart health, contributing to inflammation, arterial damage, and high blood pressure. Similarly, many canned vegetables, while convenient, are often packed in solutions high in sodium to preserve them. Consuming these regularly without rinsing can significantly elevate daily sodium intake, directly challenging blood pressure regulation, a key factor in heart disease risk for seniors. Even healthy cooking methods can be compromised. Roasting or stir-frying vegetables can be excellent ways to enhance their flavor and retain nutrients. But if excessive amounts of unhealthy fats or high sodium sources, like many commercial soy sauces or pre-made marinades, are used, the cardiovascular benefits are diminished or negated. Salads, the epitome of healthy eating for many, can become calorie and unhealthy fat bombs if drowned in creamy high-fat dressings made with poor quality oils and often containing added sugars and sodium. The vegetables themselves are innocent, but their accompaniments can be problematic. Many seniors might enjoy vegetables that are creamed, battered and fried, or served au gratin with copious amounts of cheese and butter. While these can be palatable, the added saturated fats and sodium from these preparations, if consumed regularly, contribute directly to elevated LDL, bad cholesterol, increased risk of atherosclerosis, and hypertension. The plea here is fundamental: to shift the focus towards preparing vegetables in ways that preserve their natural integrity and enhance their health benefits, rather than masking them under layers of unhealthy additions. This means embracing methods like steaming, light sautéing in a small amount of healthy oil like olive oil, baking, grilling, or enjoying them raw with simple homemade vinaigrettes. It means seasoning with herbs, spices, lemon juice, and garlic rather than relying heavily on salt. It means being mindful of portion sizes of added fats and cheeses, using them as flavor accents rather than primary components. It's about learning to appreciate the natural flavors of the vegetables themselves. By becoming acutely aware of these preparation pitfalls, seniors can ensure that their vegetable intake truly supports their heart health, providing the essential nutrients and fiber their bodies need without the accompanying burden of unhealthy fats, excessive sodium, or unnecessary refined carbohydrates. This mindful approach to cooking and seasoning is as crucial as the choice of vegetables themselves in the journey towards a vibrant, healthy heart in the golden years. True nourishment honors the ingredient. Individual needs. As we draw this vital discussion towards its conclusion, the overarching message that I most earnestly wish to impart to seniors is the profound importance of recognizing and honoring individual needs and predispositions when it comes to diet and heart health. While general dietary guidelines provide a valuable starting point, the notion that one size fits all is rarely true, especially as we navigate the unique physiological landscape of our later years. What works wonderfully for one senior might be less than ideal or even subtly problematic for another due to differences in genetics, existing health conditions, medication use, gut microbiome composition, and personal sensitivities. The 5 vegetable categories we have touched upon, nightshades, high oxalate vegetables, goitrogenic crucifers in their raw state and in specific contexts, and vegetables commonly subjected to unhealthy preparation, are not being condemned outright. Rather, they serve as powerful examples of why a more nuanced, personalized, and discerning approach to even healthy foods is so crucial for seniors striving to protect their cardiovascular system. For example, a senior with a strong inflammatory component to their arthritis might find that reducing nightshade intake brings them relief, thereby potentially lowering their overall inflammatory load, which is beneficial for heart health. Another senior with a history of calcium oxalate kidney stones would be wise to moderate their intake of spinach and beet greens, thus protecting their kidney function, which is intimately linked to cardiovascular well-being. Someone with a diagnosed thyroid condition, especially if their iodine status is borderline, should be mindful of excessive raw, cruciferous vegetable consumption. And universally, all seniors benefit from avoiding preparation methods that drench vegetables in unhealthy fats and sodium. The plea, therefore, is not to instill fear or to promote restrictive eating unnecessarily, but to encourage a deep and ongoing dialogue with one's own body, in consultation with knowledgeable healthcare practitioners who understand integrative and personalized nutrition. It is about becoming an astute observer of how different foods make you feel, paying attention to subtle signs and symptoms. It may involve keeping a food diary or thoughtfully undertaking a temporary guided elimination of certain food groups if sensitivities are suspected. It requires understanding your own health history, your genetic predispositions, and how the medications you might be taking could interact with certain food components, e.g. vitamin K in leafy greens for those on warfarin or potassium levels with certain heart medications. This level of personalized awareness transforms eating from a mere act of consumption into a conscious act of self-care and self-stewardship. It empowers seniors to make informed choices that are truly aligned with their unique needs, moving beyond generic advice to create a dietary pattern that genuinely supports their heart's vitality and their overall flourishing in the golden years. This individual attunement is the hallmark of true wisdom in nourishment, fostering a resilient heart and a vibrant life. The journey to safeguarding your heart's health in your senior years is paved with awareness, discernment, and a willingness to understand that even the most venerated foods require a thoughtful approach tailored to your unique being. It is not about fearing food, but about respecting the profound interplay between what we consume and how our bodies respond. By considering the potential nuances of even seemingly innocent vegetables, and by embracing preparation methods that honor their inherent goodness, you empower yourself to make choices that truly nourish and protect your most vital organ. May this understanding guide you towards a path of heartfelt wellness, filled with vitality and peace for all your days. This perspective on healthy vegetables is truly thought-provoking, especially the emphasis on preparation pitfalls and individual needs. It's a crucial reminder that context is everything. For those seniors who have found certain commonly recommended health foods, vegetables or otherwise, to be problematic for them personally, how did you identify the issue, and what adjustments made a positive difference in your well-being, particularly concerning your heart or inflammatory responses? Sharing these personal journeys could be very enlightening.